Because this modern life with so much gadgetry and technology has brought a certain level of certainty which is unhealthy, I would say. Too much certainty. No generation had this much certainty about their livelihood, their survival, their everything. If 4 children are born in a family, only 2 lived normally, There was no such certainty. Today there is such a certainty about life, you're misunderstanding this for a guarantee. Instead of appreciating it and enjoying that certainty, right now people are thinking technology or something else has given them a guarantee of life. There's no guarantee of life, all right? Life is a fragile thing. Only if you behave responsibly, it stays with you, otherwise it'll go. So why are we behaving as rampantly as we're behaving? Because this is giving us such a false sense of certainty of 4 walls you have created, you don't know whether it's summer, winter, spring, what it is. Always it is 70 degrees centigrade, or I'm sorry, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and you think this is it, you're in a box. We go into a box as a last journey. You can't live in a box all your life. If you live in a box all the time, that's not life. So right now when life hits you, virus is life, when life hits you, you don't know how to deal with it. All that's happened is small upheavals. This is a very soft ball compared to what the previous generations have faced. The Spanish flu, the World War I, then the Great Depression in America, then World War II, and so many things that they have faced. Compared to that, just 1 century if you take, if you look back, you will be terrified what was happening to them. 1 century, 20th century, what it has done to people. Compared to that, this is an extremely soft ball, we must hit it. We must hit it well and see that this becomes a very transformative and wonderful time for us, rather than thinking some calamity has hit us. No calamity has hit us. Any amount of medical proof is there that virus infections have brought about so many aspects of our evolution into place. In the past millions of years, many virus infections were key to instigating evolutionary process to hasten up within ourselves. Who knows, with this you may grow a halo. With the coronavirus, who knows? Let us wait, let us strengthen our immune system, let us bring our psychological and physiological balance into our systems and sail through this. He's saying there is no rough weather, everything is smooth sailing. Uh,
It is still smooth sailing. Ananta, did you want to just do a quick follow-up?
Yes, I mean, and that's very helpful, Sadhguru. Thank you. And I think, in terms of giving young people, youth, that sense of hope and putting things in perspective and asking them to sort of, slow their expectations down is good. What would you be saying to people, for many people who might be facing some immediate, whether it is poverty, hunger, whatever it is, some immediate needs, basic needs, which are not being fulfilled? What would you say to them? What would you do to them in order to give them that strength and hope that they can get beyond this, and there is, their particular attitude or way of life can help them, bear these indignities? What would you say to maybe young people, but also families? Thank you.
See, there are two things kind of woven together in this question about indignities that one may have to suffer and hunger. These are two different things. Hunger is a physiological, fundamental thing, all right? So if societies or groups of people or individual people are going into hunger state, starvation states, that's a different matter. That has to be dealt on a war footing. But we must also understand, never before in the history of humanity was food and survival as organized as it is today. Never before. Still there are places in the world where people are genuinely hungry. Genuinely hungry means they're starving, malnourishment is happening to some 20–25% of the people still going through that. But those people generally live on the land or in the forest. So their lives have not changed in any way because of the pandemic, okay? It is happening the way it's happening, their food, their nourishment as it was, it is at the same level. Probably a whole lot of things have gone little better in many places where I have noticed. This is a very negative thing to say right now because everybody like to be told, oh, we are all suffering, we are all suffering. But in developed societies, let's say in UK or United States or whatever, these are not countries where you need to go hungry. If you're going hungry because you have specific choices as to how your stomach should get full, all right? You are going… See, right now, people are begging on the street. At least they're honest these days. In America, at least they're honest. They say, give me $2, I need a beer. It's honest. Whether you want to give him or not is another matter. So there is hunger and there is a lifestyle. These are two different things. Lifestyles are disrupted. Life is not disrupted, let's understand this. Life is not about lifestyles, life is about life. As life, unfortunately, certain number of people have died. People have lost their dear ones. Above all, they've not been able to tend to them in their last moments, which is the most painful thing. But lifestyle getting disturbed is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Ecologically, it is definitely not a bad thing. Even economically, it's not a bad thing. It is good that once in a while lifestyles get disrupted because that disruption will bring various new possibilities and new thinking and new avenues as to how we should conduct our life. So lifestyles are being disrupted, and if you interpret that as an indignity of life, well, I'm telling you, you're talking about young people, because they can't go to school, because they can't meet their friends, there is some problem. If I was 15 or 14 and there was no school, I would be fantastic. I don't know what's wrong with today's children. No schools, they're crying. If they declared no school for 6 months, I wish there was a pandemic when I was young. 6 months no school means that would be paradise for us. But that also they're suffering. So this is because too many structures in our mind too early. They're being formed into concrete balls too early on with excessive exposure, excessive information, excessive expression before… See, there is something called as perception and then expression. In yoga, we always say the time that you spend to perceive should be higher than the time that you spend for expression. Perception is more important than expression. But today, with the technology available, it's all expression, no perception. So you will grow up as bloody fools, I'm saying, without any profoundness to your life. Just sending emojis, you think you're writing literature? From Shakespeare, from John Keats, where have you come? Emoji language, is it? I'm asking you, English language has become all sign language So, this has to stop. If virus is going to stop this, it's great because to create languages, it has taken 1,000 years. Language doesn't happen like that. And language, according to today's neurological thing, we've always known this, that language is one of the significant parts of human brain development, all right? How many languages you can speak shows in many ways how complex your activity has become, cerebral activity has become. So, today we are taking it back with technology. Right now, if pandemic is going to reverse that, I'm very glad that it's happening. I'm very, very glad. Maybe they're reading little more than before rather than texting or doing something else. So, 140 words or 140 characters has become the character of the literature of today. Okay, from Homer, you come to 140 characters of literature. This is something we need to look at. If virus is disrupting that, I'm very glad it's disrupting that. Only lifestyles are disrupted. Life we must protect. We must ensure, this is a fundamental responsibility, young or old. You must make sure, as long as this virus lasts, however long it lasts, you must stay alive. This is your fundamental responsibility. And you must ensure everybody around you stays alive. If this much responsibility everybody takes, life is fine, we may live with little less. This is what, when I said this, everybody got angry with me. I said, what is the big ruckus about the economy? What may happen to us? At the most, we may live like how we lived 10 years ago, or maybe 25 years ago. 25 years ago, believe me, life was good. Hello? We didn't have so many things that you have today, but life was just good, very good. It was great for me 25 years ago. So if it becomes like that, I don't see what you're complaining about.